Hey, what's up, guys? Grainy webcam footage here. Hi, guys. Just Galleon here. Welcome to this new series that I'm starting by myself this time, actually. Shocking, I know. But this series is called The Bandwagoner. And it's a weird name, I know. But this show is all about me jumping on the bandwagon for popular shows and movies that everybody's been going on and on and on about. And I guess I just decided to give it a shot. So, during this first episode, we are going to be talking about Stranger Things. Now, at the time of recording this, we're about 2.5 hours out of right before season 2 is released on Netflix, and I'm actually pretty dang excited, which is a bit of a spoiler on whether or not I liked it or not, but, I mean, it's Stranger Things, so it was kind of obvious I was going to like it, I guess. But, let's go ahead and get on into it. So, before watching this, I had just seen everybody talking about how great Stranger Things was and how I need to watch it and all this stuff. And it took me until now to finally watch it. And so I really enjoyed it, actually. Like, I really did enjoy it. It was a very great show, great pacing, everything. So let's go ahead and dive into it. And this will be spoiler heavy. Just forewarning here, this is going to be very much a spoilerific show. So, don't watch this unless you've seen Stranger Things, or if you just don't care. Because I'm not going to complain if you watch it. It's more ad revenue. But so let's go ahead and dive on into it. We'll start with the plot. Now, the story is pretty simplistic to begin with, and then gets a little more complicated as it goes on. It's all about a whole nother alternate universe called the Upside Down, which is like the opposite of our world, trying to creatures are escaping from it and coming into our world. In it, to begin with, it only affects the lives of these 4 boys here, and takes Will, which basically just gets the whole later plot going. 3 friends, Mike, Lucas, and Toothless, all find this girl in the woods named Eleven, and they all think they're it's Will or something like that, and they come across her in the woods, and it all sets this plot in motion. Later, getting the mom character of Will, his brother, Mike's sister, and all these other characters like Hopper and all these other guys into the story, and it all comes together in this really, really, really great way that you actually don't see a lot lately, and they did it all in 8 episodes, which was fantastic. So, breaking it into a little bit of the characters, I have to say my favorite character is probably Hopper. I really liked his story, the whole kind of washed-up detective aspect, until he finally, starts getting kicked into it, and then you hear his backstory, and then you see part of his backstory in the last episode. And it was a really, really, really great character arc, and I feel like his character was probably the strongest and the most well-written, and he was the character I wanted to see the most out of every single time. While I was watching the episode, I was like, I really love these kids, but what is Hopper doing? So, I mean, that's how you know that you have really good characters. In the back of your mind, you're always like, I wonder what he's up to. I wonder whenever he's going to show up again, because I don't know, I liked him a lot. So, one character that I did hear everyone going on and on and on about was Joyce Byers, Will Byers' mom, played by Winona Ryder. And everyone kept talking about how she gave the most amazing performance you've ever seen, and it's the greatest thing since dadgum Citizen Kane. Okay, that was a bit of an exaggeration, but everybody was going on and on and on about it. She did great. I really liked the parts with her in it. I will say that she did kind of go crazy really fast, and by crazy I mean started acting what everyone else would say crazy. Obviously, it wasn't her being crazy. It was just her finding out that her supposedly dead son is talking to her from an alternate dimension through Christmas lights. But I don't know, it would have been more interesting if you had a few episodes, or just a few scenes really, of her slowly just trying to keep it together and everything, and trying to make sure other people don't think she's nuts or anything like that. I don't know, I think that's just something I would have added to it. Then again, it may have cluttered up the plot I don't know. I'm not a screenwriter yet. One day. So let's go ahead and start talking about the other four main characters for this season, which is Mike, Eleven, Toothless, or Dustin, and Lucas, who are basically the main characters of the show. I mean, sort of, not really, but basically. They are very much right out of a Steven Spielberg movie. This movie, or not movie, this show is basically like just the 80s, the show. It's got stuff like It and E.T. and all these other great 80s stuff and movies that came out back when. And it fits really well and it really works. The characters were great. They felt like actual kids. They weren't your typical movie kids, which were only there, to be cute or say something that inspires the adults or anything. No, they were Steven Spielberg kids, like E.T., where they were the main driving point of the entire film. And it was really, really cool to see that again. Usually you don't see a lot of great kid actors anymore portraying their characters really well, and it was really great to see. Especially Eleven. Eleven was fantastic. She was a really great character in this. One character I'm really excited to see a lot more of in the second season is Will, because you really don't get to see him at all during the first season because he's trapped in the Upside Down the entire time until the last episode, and that's obviously that's what the whole plot is about. So they're going to keep him there, or else there wouldn't be a plot. So I'm really looking forward to seeing more of him and get to know his character a bit more than what we got in the little small snippets that we had during the series. Alright, so the next two characters I really want to focus on are Jonathan and Nancy, who I really, really enjoyed in this. They were really good characters. I really liked Jonathan a lot. First off, you don't really get to know him or anything, but then you start seeing how he interacted with Will and everything, and he was a really good older brother. And it was the kind of normal story of the popular girl and everything all of a sudden meets the weird kid and they start getting along, and it's not necessarily that they get along, but they need each other, and they're the only two people that they think know of the other world, and of the monsters and everything. And that was a really cool dynamic between the two of them, was just the different personalities rubbing up against each other, and I'm excited to see a little bit more of them in the second season as well. Okay, one character I didn't like. Here we go. Negative stuff. Yippee. I despise Steve. Legitimately. They tried to have him, do, this big heroic turn at the end. And it is admirable that he came back and, apologized to Nancy for the really, really terrible, messed up thing that he did. And he even helped fight off one of the monsters, even though he's freaked out the whole time because it was the first time he really ever heard about it or anything like that. But, I still don't like him. What he did was really messed up, and that was, I just don't like him as a person currently. I would like to see more of him, and I hope he does have a better, character turn in the second season where he keeps, up on the up and up, trying to be a better person than the kind of scumbag he started as in the beginning of this season. I just really didn't like him from the beginning of the season, to be honest. He's just a bit of that, the jerk that you usually see in high school movies and everything, and he was that until towards the end of the first season. And they tried to pull him out of that, but I mean, for me, it just didn't work as much as I'm sure it did for a lot of other people, because I think a lot of people actually like his character, from what I've seen, of course. So yeah, moving forward into the second season, I'm really looking forward to watching it tomorrow. And I'm just really hyped for it, actually, because it was a really good show, and I'm glad I experienced it, and I'm glad everyone recommended it. So for the next episode, I don't know what I'll be doing or what show or anything like that. So go ahead and comment if there's a show that you don't think I've seen, or a movie. Keep in mind you can do movies too. If there's a show or a movie or anything like that that you just would recommend that you really enjoyed and want to see my opinions on it, go ahead and comment that down below. There's this little handy thing called the comment section below me, and go ahead and put what you want down there, and I'll probably randomly select one, and we'll see where we go from here. So again, thank you so much for watching, guys. Go ahead and I don't know, do the usual YouTube stuff. Like, comment, subscribe, all that business. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Snapchat at CaptainJSSG. So yeah, there you go. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a good night.